Hello and welcome, it is I, MrSnake. Don't listen to this file if you're driving, operating machinery, or if there's something you need to focus your full attention and awareness upon. Only listen in a place where it's safe and appropriate to do so, and only listen at a time when it's safe and appropriate to do so. Make sure to turn off any distractions, and also it might help to have a glass of water handy for after the trance. If you need to adjust for comfort at any time during the trance, that's perfectly okay. If you need to pause the file to get yourself ready and prepared, then feel free to do so. I'll still be here. Okay, so you've seen the description of the file, you've seen the title of the file. And so the reason you're here is because you have triggers that you'd like to have removed. So I'd like you to just get yourself nice and comfortable. I want you to be aware that you'll have full agency during this trance. If for any reason you need to come out of trance, you'll be able to come out of trance easily and effortlessly and be able to deal with whatever it is you need to deal with. So right now I want you to get yourself incredibly comfortable, so whether you're sitting on a chair or laying on a bed or a sofa, get yourself into the most comfortable position you possibly can. And now that you're comfortable, I'd like you to just pay attention to your breathing. I want you to notice the gentle rise and fall of your chest that happens all by itself. Breathing is one of those things that we just seldom think about. But when you think about it, if you control the pace of your breathing, if you slow it down, you notice that your body starts to naturally relax along with it. And that makes perfect sense. If your breathing slows, you might notice your mind starts to slow down along with it. So those calm, relaxing breaths you take just start to naturally calm and relax your mind. There is a wonderful synchronicity between body and mind and body. So as your muscles start to become loose and limp and relax as you listen to the sound of my voice, you can notice how your mind begins to relax. As your muscles become more loose and limp, your mind relaxes deeper and further, and you start to drop down, sinking down deep into trance. And as you've been in hypnosis before, you associate certain sensations with oncoming hypnosis. The relaxation of your muscles and your body, the relaxing calmness and stillness you feel in your mind that comes along with your slow, deep breathing. Now in a second or two, in a moment or two, you're going to notice another one of those sensations you associate with trance and hypnosis to start manifesting and taking place within your body. That's right. And just allow that sensation to spread through every cell and muscle of your very being. And notice how it takes you that little bit deeper, a little bit further down into trance. And while that sensation is spreading, as you're relaxing more, it doesn't matter if you pay attention to my voice consciously, because your unconscious mind is always paying attention to the words I say, and to the suggestions I make for your betterment. In fact, if your mind wanders, if thoughts drift in and out of your mind, that's perfectly okay. That's a natural part of trance. So if your conscious mind needs to just depart and take a little break, that's perfectly okay and natural. You don't have to say, think, or speak, or do anything other than just let my words wash over your mind and body like waves on a beach. And you can begin noticing things. And you can begin noticing things about trance. You can notice how your conscious mind maybe drifts away as your unconscious mind comes more to the fore. And it's your unconscious mind that I'm going to address today. That part of your unconscious mind that keeps you safe and protects you, that looks after you and looks out for your well-being. Because it does such a great job looking after you and looking out for you, that I want to let it know that the suggestions I make today are all for your well-being. They're suggestions that your conscious mind wants to follow and adhere to. The suggestion that you can easily let go of any post-hypnotic triggers that you've experienced or accepted in the past. Now's the time to let them go. In the same way that I mentioned my words washing over you like waves on a beach. Maybe you can think of those old suggestions as being like sand on the beach, and my words and my new suggestion to let go of them being like the wave washing over, cleaning your mind of the formerly useful effects of those triggers.
At one point they came to a river with a
but now they don't serve you. Your unconscious mind wishes to relinquish them.
They saw a very young and beautiful woman.
And so this is the perfect time and the place to understand and realize that letting go of those triggers is in your own best interest.
Because they had taken vows not to touch
For your betterment,
Then, without
for your well-being,
the older monk picked up the
to free yourself,
carried her
from
across the
those,
river, placed her gently on the
to let
other
go
side,
and relinquish
and carried on
any
the
control they may have had.
The younger monk could
Now
not
dissipates
believe
like
his
smoke on a breeze.
After rejoining his companion, he was speechless.
They fade off
There
into
was
the
a silent
distance
wind between them. 2 more
like a
hours
leaf on a strong wind.
Finally, the younger monk could not contain himself
And you might
any
notice
longer and blurted out,
that your unconscious mind not only will accept
"What's
suggestions
not permitted to
that your
touch you.
conscious mind agrees to
How
in
could you then
advance,
carry that woman on your shoulders?
that at any point when you hear a
Woman
suggestion
was
that your conscious mind wouldn't agree with,
They
that
sat
isn't
down
in your
by the
best
other side of the
interests,
river. Why
that you
are
can
still
ignore it,
drinking?
or you can come out of trance easily and effortlessly, strong in your resolve and in your commitment to protecting yourself. And you deserve happiness, and you deserve to control which suggestions work or don't work. And so your unconscious mind now has complete and utter agency. Your conscious mind will avoid any triggers or suggestions that aren't in your best interest. And so this now is the perfect time to formulate new ideas and pathways on how best to achieve that. So that going forward, this happier, more secure version of yourself always protects you consciously and unconsciously. And it may well be that you find in the future that this new sense of agency, this new understanding of your own power of agency, makes for a happier, more content, version of you. And I want you to picture that content, happier version of yourself. Maybe you can picture it on a movie screen as you sit in the theater, watching that secure, happy version of yourself with complete agency, and just float into that version of yourself, freed of any triggers, freed of any suggestions that aren't right, safe, or appropriate for you. Because in future, the only suggestions you will accept will be suggestions that are right, safe, and appropriate for you, limited to times and places that are right, safe, and appropriate for you. Every day, in every way, you're getting better and better. And every day, in every way, your unconscious mind is doing better and better.
Another man who was standing alongside the road shouted, "Where are you going?" And the man on the horse replied,
And doesn't it feel good to know that you have such complete agency? Doesn't it feel good to know that you can allow yourself to protect yourself? Knowing that in the future, only suggestions that are right, safe, and appropriate for you are suggestions that you can accept. Anything that is unsafe will not be accepted. You will only accept suggestions that are in your best interest, that have your best interests at heart. And by doing this, your unconscious mind and your conscious mind will work in alliance for your betterment, for your protection, and for your safety. And this suggestion applies whether it's to me or to another hypnotist. You can let go of the previous suggestions that don't serve your interests. You have that power. You really do. And you know, we've all made mistakes in life. I know I certainly have, and the important thing with mistakes is that we learn from them. We accept that we made the mistake, and then we learn from the mistake.
A monk and a junior monk were traveling together. At one point they came to a river with a
We
stream.
understand the steps that we
As the
maybe
monk
should have got right,
to cross the river, they saw a very
and then we
young,
learn.
beautiful woman also attempting to cross. The young woman asked,
And so from this point on,
the other side.
your unconscious mind has learned from the mistakes that were made,
Advised not to touch a woman. Then
accepts that they were made,
the older monk
forgives yourself,
carried
and
her
allows
to
yourself
the
to learn
placed
from
her
the
gently
mistakes.
on the other side and carried on his journey.
So in future and from this point on,
What had just happened,
your unconscious mind
rejoining his companion,
only accepts suggestions that are
but an
actually
hour passed without a word.
to your benefit and that work towards your betterment.
Then 3. Finally, the younger monk could not contain himself any longer.
We can leave the past in
and
the
blurted
past
out, "Brother,
and live
as
in the
monks, you are
present.
not permitted to touch a woman."
We can look
Then carry
to
that
the
woman on your
future,
shoulders.
knowing
The
that your
monk
unconscious
replied,
mind
"Brother,
is going to do an
I set her
amazing
down
job
on the other side of the river,
keeping you safe
but why
and
are you
protecting
still
you,
carrying her?"
knowing that this is the time to completely unburden yourself and free yourself of old unwanted triggers, suggestions. Today is the start of a wonderful new journey, freed from the shackles of the past, allowed to express yourself and be yourself to the fullest. Which is why what we're effectively doing today is giving your unconscious mind a reset. We're wiping the slate clean of any triggers or suggestions, allowing your unconscious mind to start fresh in terms of any suggestions that it may wish to use in the future. What you'll find is that any triggers that were related to certain words just fade and vanish. They dissipate. If they hold any sway or influence, you'll notice that it decreases really rapidly and quickly, if not completely. You may find that you need to listen to this file a couple of times, and that's okay. This is like a great reset for your mind, to start over and afresh, freed of guilt, shame, or anxiety. Your unconscious mind and your conscious mind can both feel calm and relaxed in the knowledge that this new blank slate, wiping clean like chalk on a chalkboard. And you could just imagine those old triggers
Suddenly came galloping
just
quickly.
being wiped off as though they were written in chalk, and you're just stood in front of that chalkboard
Another man who was standing
with the duster,
shouted,
and you just wipe it absolutely clean,
I don't know. Ask the horse.
almost like you were stood at a dry erase board. Whatever's on that board, you can just wipe it completely clean. And whether you know it or not, but deep down your unconscious mind knows this. The person in ultimate control of your own mind is you. You have absolute power of agency, utilizing consent and agency to their utmost, so that any unwanted triggers are not retained. They're let go. They're not of any use. So you just let them go. They fade and dissipate. They float away like a leaf on a stream. Maybe it floats under a bridge or past a tree. They just float harmlessly away. And so you can leave those unwanted triggers in the past. Today is a new day. And from this moment, your unconscious mind will only accept suggestions that are in your benefit. Even as you listen to this file, the amazing power of your mind is already formulating new strategies and new ideas as to how best to protect your unconscious mind. So if you have to read a transcript of a future file, that's okay. Your conscious mind will always pay attention to the warnings that are linked to any file, carefully checking for suggestions, checking the content, and evaluating whether any suggestions are right, safe, or appropriate for you, so that the only suggestions you accept in future are suggestions that are for your betterment, that work actively at making your life happier and better. Now, in a few moments, I'm going to count from 1 up to 5. And when I reach 5, you're going to come out of this trance feeling amazingly calm and relaxed, freed of any unwanted suggestions or triggers that you previously had. If you need to come back and listen to this file for a quick power up, then feel free to do so. 1. Coming up out of trance feeling amazingly calm and relaxed. 2. Leaving any unwanted suggestions or triggers back in the past. 3. You may want to wiggle your fingers or toes, stretch or yawn. 4. Coming up out of trance, smile on your face, feeling so good. And 5. Eyes opened, coming completely out of trance, feeling amazingly calm and relaxed. As always, thank you for listening. And you can always come back and re-listen to this file if you ever need a little boost.